I never believed in ghosts. To me, haunted houses were just stories told around campfires to scare kids. That changed the night I stayed in the old house on Whisper Hill. The place had been abandoned for decades. Its windows were broken, the paint was peeling, and the front door hung loosely on its hinges. Local kids dared each other to get close to it, claiming they saw shadows moving in the windows, but I wasn't scared. I needed a cheap place to crash for a night, and the old house seemed perfect. It was just after sunset when I stepped inside. The air was thick and stale, like the house hadn't breathed in years. My flashlight's beam revealed dusty furniture, cobwebs stretching across the ceiling, and a cracked mirror hanging crookedly in the hallway. I found a small room with a couch that didn't look too filthy. I dropped my backpack, lit a couple of candles I had brought, and sat down. The silence was so heavy it felt like the walls were listening. An hour later, the noises started. At first, it was just faint creaks, like the house was settling. Then I heard footsteps upstairs. Slow, deliberate. I told myself it was just my imagination, but my body knew better. Goosebumps rose on my arms. "Hello?" I called out, trying to sound confident. No answer. The footsteps stopped, and for a moment, I thought I was alone again. Then came the laughter. It was soft, like a child's giggle, floating down from the second floor. My stomach dropped. I wasn't alone. I grabbed my flashlight and hesitated. Every instinct told me to run, but curiosity, or maybe stupidity, kept me rooted. I climbed the creaky stairs, each step echoing through the empty house. The giggling grew louder, leading me to a room at the end of the hall. The door was slightly ajar, and the beam of my flashlight trembled as I pushed it open. Inside was a child's bedroom, untouched by time. Toys were scattered on the floor, and a small bed was neatly made. But it wasn't empty. A little girl stood in a corner, facing the wall. Her hair was tangled, and she wore a white dress stained with dirt. "Hey, are you okay?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She turned slowly, and I froze. Her face was pale, her eyes sunken and black as coal. Her lips curled into a smile, but it wasn't friendly. "You shouldn't be here," she said in a singing voice. I stumbled back, my heart pounding. The door slammed shut behind me, and the laughter erupted again, this time all around me. Shadows danced on the walls, closing in. I screamed, bolting for the door. It wouldn't budge. I turned back to find the girl gone, but the room wasn't empty. A dozen figures now surrounded me, their faces twisted and hollow. "Leave," they roared in unison. I don't know how, but I got the door open and ran. I didn't stop until I was outside, gasping for air. As I reached the gate, I turned back to look at the house. It was silent again, its dark windows staring back at me like empty eyes. I told myself I'd never come back. Weeks passed, but I couldn't stop thinking about the house. I had to know the truth, so I did some digging. What I found shook me to my core. Years ago, a man had lived in that house. A quiet, unassuming man who kept to himself. Nobody realized what he was doing until it was too late. He had lured people into the house. Travelers, drifters, people like me. They were never seen again. When the townsfolk finally searched the house, they found a dozen bodies buried in the basement. And among his victims was a little girl in a white dress. But here's the part that still keeps me awake at night. The man was never caught. And in the old newspaper photo I found of him, he looked exactly like me.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this.